Well, hello again. We're now in week 4 of the class, and I hope everyone is surviving. The class overall is doing very well. The quality of the submissions for the discussion question number 3 overall was much improved. I think everybody got the concept of centralized versus decentralized in the My Gym video. So rather than talk about that particular discussion question, I'd like to give you another aspect of it. The video makes it sound like franchises are just the best way to go, and in many cases they're a good way to get something started in a business you're interested in. But the other side of the coin is that going it on your own is a pretty good way to go too. In my own personal experience, I was a customer of daycares many years ago, and I want to give this kind of an example because both of the daycare, the franchise one that I had experience with, and kind of like the mom and pop one, if you will, were both very good, but they were very different kind of businesses. When our children were young, we went to our church and asked, hey, where's a good daycare? And they recommended this one place that the owner was a preschool teacher, and they were very hands-on as owners. Everything was customized to each child. Every kid was challenged in their own way. And the owner knew all the employees. Everybody was someone that they knew. There was field trips that went on whatever happened to be going on. If there was Christmas and Santa Claus was at the nearby mall, there would be a field trip to it, or a celebrity like Barney or whatever it was at the time was coming to a particular place. They could take advantage of it because the owner was right there, and there was no centralized authority they had to go to. Now that was really, really good. That was the kind of thing that I really liked, that personal touch. We eventually moved out of the area, had to go to a different daycare, and we went to this franchise one. Now they had all nationally approved programs, but it was a one-size-fit-all kind of a situation. The employees were much more qualified, but you could the feeling you got wasn't that family kind of feeling. It was more like an employee taking care of your kids. And of course, there was no such thing as a field trip or any kind of events that were outside of the franchise. Now, were the kids taken care of? Yes, the kids were taken care of, but you can see where the differences between a franchise and a mom and pop. Don't just because there's franchises out there doesn't mean a mom and pop organization might not be something that you would want to put together. Looking forward at discussion question 4, this is a little different style question, and it deals with motivational concepts and theories. As you do the reading, you might think that kind of all of these theories and stuff, they all make good sense. And I might use them depending one on the other. I might be thinking about one or the other depending on the circumstances, and that's a very appropriate thing. But for the purposes of this question, I want you to just pick one of them, and tell me in your submission, pick one from the book, tell me which one it is so I know what you're talking about, then tell me why you like that one in particular and why you feel it would be successful. So that's what I'm looking for. The responses should either add a new idea from the other person submitted it, either add a new idea to something that they've had, or express some issue that they might have using that theory or concept. We'll talk about the midterm now. The midterm, the grades were mostly good. That shows, I think it was a good midterm as far as the scores, what the scores reflect. Overall, all the majority of people got an acceptable grades. What's coming up? Well, compared to last week, this next week is kind of quiet. All we have to do is discussion question number 4 and quiz number 4. So those are the things that are due this week. Of course, next week we're starting to think about the submission of the article summary. I talked about that in the last video, what I'm looking for. So you should be starting to work on those. And that's it for now. I'll talk to y'all next week.